Hello everybody and welcome back to Sandy Bay. So we are on episode 22, so things are progressing fairly quickly now, only 8 episodes left, so what we have to do is make sure we've compacted and fermented all the silage and also sold it all before the end of this. Also, we do of course need to do some more with the bees, which are okay, they seem to be getting on fine, but I'm aware of some crates of honey which need to be transferred over to the sell point, or at least the factory. So I think we'll do that today, but at the same time we do of course need to do this compacting of the silage pit. Now this could be a little bit troublesome. I don't know how long it's going to take. That pit is very full, and also, well, because they've been tipped in big trailer loads, they're pretty big sort of mountains which are in there, so levelling it off could be very tricky. What we're about to do is go and buy a silage leveller. It should make it easier for us. I've been told that apparently, this isn't sort of proven, but the more wheels you have doing it, the better it could be. Now, most tractors, as you know, usually have 4 wheels. You can get some with 6, but really, we're going to be stuck with about 4. So, I think really probably the T7 or the JCB. Those are the two which sort of spring to mind. Where is it? Where are they? They're both here. I think we're going to use the T7. It looks heavier. I think it is. And it's heavy duty, so we're going to go with that. Now when I first got Farming Simulator 17, it was on my previous computer, and for some reason it wouldn't matter how many times I tried to configure the controls for the silage pusher leveller, it just would never work. But I have tried it on this brand new computer and it seems to work perfectly, so I don't really know what was going on there. I never adjusted any of the controls, and also I did reset it to default many times before, and it just didn't really want to know. So, very strange. I'm so pleased I've got rid of that computer. Actually I still have it, but I very rarely record videos on it. This one is just so much better. Very cautious about doing any sort of videos around this area because there is like a... well, there is a sound effect of some seagulls, and apparently it is a copyrighted sound, so I don't like to be in this area too much. I guess I got a copyright strike on my account, which would not be good. So, we need to go to levelers. Does the size make a difference? I suppose it would do. Let's just go with the biggest one, it's going to be better. It's bound to be. We have a big tractor, so we can support it. Maybe fitting it to the front would be better. We'll try it. Okay, there we go. Let's go up to the farm. So here we are. I think most people want me to do some bee work. We're not going to do a great deal here, even if we don't finish it, because nobody really wants to see going backwards and forwards all day. There's only so much of that anyone can take. So, this is going to be bad. Climbing up here can be very difficult. Yeah, but it is definitely helping. That actually is working surprisingly well. I shouldn't really be surprised, it's what it's designed to do. I just very rarely use this implement, I really should do. I wonder if it increases the speed that it compacts. Look at that, 2%. Almost 600,000 litres of silage in here, or of chaff I should say. Very impressive. This is from one field. Wow. Okay, so what I'm going to do is do a tiny bit, maybe a minute or two, and then we'll move on. It's very effective. Oh, this is not good. Getting stuck. Maybe a wheel loader would be better. I can't really afford one though. Ah. Let's go up here. Well, it's definitely levelling. Progress is good. It's now looking in much better shape. It isn't just like a load of undulations in there. Lots of little mountains, it's looking much better. So I think really, if I just do a little bit every episode, it's going to be the best thing to do. Or I just do a load off screen. But really we do need to move on, do something else, because this has been dragged on for a few episodes. 12% after all that time. Wow. Okay, so there we go. Call it a poor effort, but we do have to do other stuff as well. Let's go over to... where would it be? We've got the milk here. Fill this up a bit more. This needs to go over to the factory. Wow, almost 100%. Not bad at all. So we can't actually change the wheels on here because it is a lease tractor. So it's stuck with these. But it doesn't really matter. It still works. Now there's our trailer. There's the John Deere. Let's stack the pallets. There should be a few. At least 2 of them. Oh, there's another beehive as well. Now I'm not quite sure what the situation with beehives is. I don't know if you can just go and sell them. I'm going to take a few with me just to make sure. But I've got a suspicion that you can sell them for quite a lot of money. Okay, so this one is definitely full. You can see it says 500, which means it's totally full. Now it may be that when I pick this up, another one spawns, depending on how much is waiting. Unless the production actually stops, I'm not entirely sure. So this one goes here. Oh, always do this. Terrible. We'll try again. There we go. Okay, the second crate, just over here. Put this one next to it, and then we're going to strap them on. Good. Okay, so one over here. That's not good. One there. That'll do. How are we doing over here then? It needs to reset. So the crate on the left hand side has now started to produce more honey, and as you can see it's jumped to 48, so it obviously did have some waiting. I did have to skip a bit of time for it to do this. This one's on 26. But yeah, that's all good. Now, there is a hive here. We can use these in another bee house, but to be honest, 2 is good for us at the moment. And there is another one here, which has stopped production because it is in the way. Good, so we have everything loaded up. I was going to use the John Deere to transport it, but then realised it's very slow. However, we do need to have a front loader at the other end, so let me just check where the lever is, and then we'll find out. Okay, it's here, so not a good place to be. Can you tow that trailer with this loader? I don't think you can do. It's a shame because it would be much faster. Anyway, just going to have to live with this. It's a good tractor, just very slow. I've reduced the volume because I know it can be a bit loud. It's probably the loudest tractor we own, also the oldest. So it's not exactly unexpected. Right, let's hitch up. What have I done? Oh no, taking the front loader off. Get a bit closer. There we go. So yeah, this is going to be, hopefully, quite a lot of production of honey milk, because we've got, what, 2 crates of honey, almost a full tanker of milk, and also there's already some in the factory, so if we can then take it out of the factory and sell it, we should be able to do quite well out of it. That is the plan. And as for these beehives, well, I have no idea. I don't know if you can sell beehives. As far as I'm aware, you can sell bees, but whether or not that is via the hives, that's what we're going to have to find out. Oh no, set that to 15. Okay, off we go. So as many of you know, we are changing the map at episode 30. Well, we're sticking with Sandy Bay, but just in multiplayer, as I've explained before, which means we're going to have a different single player series. Now, the thing is, I do a lot of UK maps, which is great. I love UK maps, and I think most of my audience does as well. But diversifying and doing other stuff too is quite nice. Now, I did have a few ideas, not particular maps, not anything in particular, but the area at least. Now, Eastern Europe seems to be quite a popular place to be. So an Eastern European map could be okay. Now, you may remember, but the first, I think it was the first map, except for Bjornholm in FS15, that I ever did was, what's it called? Baldacchino. I don't know where that is actually located exactly. I think it's Eastern Europe. I think it is. Someone will have to confirm that for me. But that was a very good map. It was also quite a large map. Some very, well, they were absolutely huge fields, which would be perfect for the upcoming Big Bud DLC. Now, the Big Bud DLC is obviously trying to be suited to an American map, as it's American machinery. But I'm all for doing an American map. It's just, most people have told me in the comments that there aren't really any good ones. Now, I don't know. I'm not saying that myself. Just what I've been told. There could be some really good ones. But usually when many people say the same thing, it's true. So that's why I'm sort of looking at an Eastern European large map with big fields for big machinery. I know for a fact that Baldacchino is definitely capable of having the Big Bud DLC, because there was a field on there, well, most of the fields actually, that I used some big machinery in, and even then it felt small. So unless it's been completely changed, which I don't know, it might have been. I doubt it, but I know it is now in FS17, sorry. So if it is, that could be a good one to go for, or something completely different, I'm not too sure. I am going to open it up to a vote, nearest to the time. It's actually not too far away now, but for the time being, I'm sort of playing with some suggestions, and really, Eastern Europe does seem to be quite a good one to go for. At the same time, some Australian maps, if there are any, could be good. And yeah, I haven't ruled out American maps at all. Could be some very good ones to do. Now, I did do a showcase on Rattlesnake Valley when it was in the production stage, but then I wasn't allowed to do any more videos on it, so I'm not quite sure what the creators' views are on me doing any more videos of that map, but that also could be quite a good one. It was, or it is, a massive map. It's huge. Maybe in some ways too big. We'll have to see. This trailer should really be on the Irish map, with the Irish number plate. So here we are, the other farm. This is a place where we very rarely visit, because, mainly, we don't have any fields around it, which we own. There are many fields about, but unfortunately we don't have any. Now, this is obviously going to change when we get to the multiplayer series, because we'll have enough money to be able to buy probably every field. So I think we're going to be here quite a bit in the near future. Oh, stop that thing, don't want it to crash into me. Right, so this is obviously the production area. What I'm going to do first of all though, I'll turn the engine off. I just want to see if you do sell these. Now, I could be looking like a complete idiot here, trying to sell a beehive, as it does say you sell bees, but it's worth a go. I have just... It did sell. I threw it in there, but it did sell. It says harvest income, £274, which actually seems quite good for a box. We should have more of these boxes. So I'm assuming there are actually bees in it, which does seem strange. Maybe we're just selling the hive. We'll say we're just selling the hive. It makes more sense. So there you go. Have it. Just take it. £274. So it's a small amount of money, but if that thing is producing those continually, you only need a few, and you've already got £1,000. So that is all good. Now, what we need to do here is put these crates in the loading zone. You can see we've got 2 here. We're actually okay for honey, so if we ever get too much, we can just sell it. What we really need more of is milk. I'm really hoping that a full tanker load, pretty much, with the exception of 1%, is going to go a long way. It is only a small tanker. Oops, I have just hit the trailer. But it should do okay, hopefully. I'm really doing badly today, aren't I? We'll try this one instead. Hopefully things go a bit better. Very simple. If you've not seen this before, all we have to do is basically put it in the area over here. It basically stacks it itself. There you go. So it decided not to put it up there, it decided to put it on the lower level. The next one though, which we're going to have to try and rescue, will likely be stacked a bit higher up. Oh, look at that. I've got it. Good. The milk is much easier to do. You basically just take it over to the loading zone here, then the hose automatically attaches, and then basically pumps the milk out. Very simple. So there we go. The honey is done. Now, let's reverse up to the loading zone. Or the unload zone, as it maybe should be called. And I think pretty much as soon as you do this, it starts to produce the honey milk. There we go, you can see it's emptying via the hose up here. All going into the factory. If we open up this page here and go closer, we can see a bit of information. And even all that milk is only 12% of the overall storage capacity of the factory. And the honey is 57%. Nonetheless, it is going to do okay. Interestingly, the honey milk is reset to 0%, which is not good. It means what we did last time was a waste, unless I sold it. Did I sell it? Oh yes I did, I think I did. That's good. So what I'm going to do is just crouch down here. It's a very incredible thing we're about to do. And we're about to skip the night time. It's morning. So we do still have some honey, but we've run out of milk. We have produced just over 8,000 litres of honey milk, which can now be pumped out. Where do we pump it out from? Over here. And we can sell it instantly, which is quite a nice little feature. Fast money if you can skip time. Have you ever tried it? Have you ever crouched down in real life and then you've just suddenly skipped night time? It's a very rare ability to have. So 8,000 litres, is that beyond the capacity of this thing? It may well be. It is. 7,300 is the maximum this thing can take, so not bad. The moment of truth though is when we come to sell it. How much can we actually get for this? I've got some fairly high hopes really. Ready? Yep, that money is going up fairly fast. It's going to be about 10,000 litres, hopefully. Maybe more actually, looking at this. So I think you can probably tell that doing the bees is definitely quite a long-winded thing to begin with, but once it's actually up and running, it's a very productive thing. £11,417. And yeah, once you've got the beehives created and the bee houses, they are endless. It's an endless supply of honey. Very nice. One tip though, put your factory closer to the farm. It does make it easier. Or at least closer to the bees. So that's done. We've got a little bit of a money boost there, but we're going to have to spend that money on the maintenance of all of our machinery. Now talking about machinery, we have still this, the Big M. Now this Big M is on lease and we've still got it for another 0.6 hours, which doesn't sound like a great deal, but in that time we could do a fair bit. So I think really we should use it in the field just over here. Be a nice thing to finish off this episode with. And then of course it's going to have to be returned. So I haven't really decided what we're going to do with the grass that we cut from this field. It may well just be collected up and added to the silage pit. Or we could do hay bales. Not really too sure. This is the field in question. Open it up. Oh, that's the back camera. And with this massive machine, we should get it done in no time. So this is still the model which has not got the capability of doing an even spread, but that doesn't really matter. Interestingly though, if you remember my video about the glitch, the reason why we had the glitch is apparently because I pressed Y, which is, I think, the setting to actually adjust it between a swath and an even spread. So I really did fail there. This field used to be bigger, I think. It used to go around there. Somebody has put a boundary fence in to keep the cows in, no doubt. So this field has not been fertilised, which means that we're going to get a much lower amount of grass off it. But that's no bad thing. We got way too much off the other field. We don't want to be spending all day picking it up. We do actually own some other grass fields as well, but they are the fields with the cows in and also the sheep. So sort of taking their munching grass is not really a very kind thing to do to them. They need that grass to live on. They need to graze. So yeah, all we can do really is either recut field number 4 if we're going to do something else, or just live with what we've got here. Of course, we could buy some more fields. In fact, are there any other grass fields? Oh yes, they're all down the other end, so near to the other farm. We definitely have to buy some fields down there. But looking at our money, it is going to be later. Episode 31 onwards. Such a fast machine, and obviously because it's taking in so much and putting it to the centre, you have such a massive gap between each swath, which in theory means it's going to make picking it up much quicker too, although we will be emptying fairly frequently if we're using a small forage wagon, which I'm not convinced we have one of. Do we have one? Was that good English? We have one of? I'm not sure. That didn't sound right somehow. Right, so there we go. The final section. Finish off there. Just back up and get it. There we go, and there is a little bit up here. Despite it being a small field, we need to do a good job. There we go. Right, so I think really we're not going to have a great deal more to do with this machine. I doubt we'll be using it again before the end of this single player series, so the best thing to do is just to take it back to the store and return it before I forget, and then we get charged again. Now the likeliness is we won't get charged unless we're actually using it, but I'm not too sure on that. That could be not true. I tell you what, we'll take it down to the store, we'll park it up down there, but not return it just yet, as I'd love to hear your comments. If you do not get charged again unless you're using it, then that's great. We can obviously keep it for the future. But if we do, then it's going, without a doubt. We can't afford to have this Krone Big M on lease for another hour. This is actually where I did the lorry brake test on the extra channel. It was a bit of a failure really. I was expecting it to go flying into the field beyond, but it seems the physics in Farming Simulator aren't that good when it comes to braking. The brake intensity is extremely high, so even if you've got loads of weight on the back, your machinery will stop fairly quickly. I should retry the test in Euro Truck Simulator, as many people have suggested. It would probably work quite well. Anyway, that's that done. Oh yeah, that's still here. I'll get it folded up at least. Put it to the side of the field. Equally, we don't want to be charged for this, but I'm pretty sure it's per engine hours. There we go. And then we're back to the New Holland. Let me just do a tiny bit more here. It really needs to be done, because the sooner it starts to ferment, the sooner we can actually get it sold, and selling it's going to be quite a challenge. My guess is getting a pile like this to ferment is going to take quite some time. The actual fermentation stage. Obviously the compacting takes forever as well. 14%, that is it. 14% in about 10 minutes, so yeah, that's actually over an hour. That is going to be quite a long job I'm going to have to do off screen. Oh joy! So yeah, maybe if a little idea, if you've not got much silage, it should take you obviously a few minutes to do, otherwise it seems really quick. But then if you've got like a really excessive amount like we've got here, it should just be the same length of time to do, because yeah, in real life it is going to take a long time, but in Farming Simulator going backwards and forwards all day isn't the most enjoyable thing. I can think of better stuff to do. But one thing's for sure, I do like that they've thought of realism and it taking longer for the amount you've got. It does take a very long amount of time. I'll leave it for off screen. 17% done. And finally, I just want to see if we do have a forage wagon, because if we don't... oh, actually, that's a good point. What we could do is use the forage harvester which we currently have on lease. We have about 12 minutes left on it. To pick that field up, we'd have to obviously lease another header, but that would probably be cheaper than buying a forage wagon. Where is it? Scrolling around here. Here we go. No, we don't own one. So that is probably going to be the best option. But that is a job for next time. This machine can be put into action once again. So yeah, another fairly short video for you. It's just, you see, we've got so many jobs, but they have to be done in order. So we can't sell the silage until it's compacted, and compacting takes a long time. So for making a video like this, it's a bit of a nightmare really. Progress is much better on Drummond Farm, but still not bad on Sandy Bay overall. So until next time, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon in the next video. Until then, bye for now.